What's going on, everyone? It's Greg back with some more MIR4. And today I want to talk about the leveling guide for 90 through 100. It's probably like my third time recording this. First time I did like 90 to 95, and I was going to do 95 to 100. Then I was thinking, I'm like, a lot of these spots like pretty much last a good decent chunk of time. So it doesn't really make sense to split them up. And it's really kind of consistent at this point. So if you're hitting level 90, guys, you should have the basic knowledge. So I don't want to waste too much time in this video. I'm going to try to make it shorter than most of them. The primary focus here is going to be the spots you should be leveling in 90 to 100. Let's go ahead and talk real quick about Magic Square and Secret Peak. I feel like I shouldn't have to touch on this at all because everyone should have the sense of what they should be doing. Magic Square and Secret Peak, obviously, you want to focus the majority of your tickets on experience. You need to farm some stones. You do need to do boss runs and stuff. You need to collect your stones and summon bosses and stuff like that. So, you will do those things, but I'm saying most of your tickets should still go toward experience. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the room. By this time, you should have a cadence on how to check your rooms and where you're moving to. Always test, right? That's my fundamental rule. Always test. So, you should be transitioning from 90 to 100. You should be start off in like 5-3 at 90 and be transitioning up to 6-3 by the time you hit 100. And of course, now we're stuck with 6-3 at 100 plus because we don't have Magic Square 7 yet. Hopefully we get that soon. But if you're watching this guide later on, well, I guess should still apply to up to 100. I don't know if anyone should really be hitting 7F before 100, but so this should be a good guide for this. Now, as you can see here, the monster levels are higher, but as you're getting to these higher levels, you're expanding your gear, expanding your skills, etc. You should be able to handle higher level mobs as you keep going. So at the end of the day, though, everyone's going to be a little bit different, and classes are going to be a little bit different. I know some people have the manual, while others can auto. You need to do what's best for you. I cannot give you a one-shot guide at everything that you can follow to a T. You have to test these spots for yourself, right? So experience rooms are the best. If you need to do training, you do training, but those mobs, you get the good XP, but you're gonna get a little bit less loot. So keep that in mind. Secret Peak, same thing. The same spots are in every Secret Peak, right? You got the 2 spots on the lower end that are aggro mobs and 2 spots on the upper levels that are aggro mobs. I will say for Secret Peak 5F, there was a bit of a transition period, or a longer transition period, because the Gorphines at the top, they're ranged and they're a little bit funky, right? So it took me a while before it was actually worth doing them. And then what ended up happening is I did them for a very short time, because then I was able to just move to 6-1 and do the mobs on the lower level. And of course, at this point, well, I'm way past 100, but eventually you'll get to the top level, but that should be past 100. So by the time you hit 100, maybe some people can do that top level in 6F, but most people will get to level 100 doing the mobs on the bottom level of 6F. So that's Magic Square and Secret Peak. Same old thing as usual. So let's talk about the best spots. On the map, there's actually not that many spots, right? Personally, I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I'm not a fan of Redmoon Labyrinth. I have not found too many decent rooms. Maybe some other folks have. Guys, if you can, share any information you have down in the comments. But me personally, we had sanctuaries in Redmoon Lab, and it just wasn't good enough for me, right? I always had some better spots. So Redmoon Lab, if it works for you, great, test it out. Always test your stuff, guys. One more quick reminder there for testing: if you are going to test, make sure you do like 5 to 10 minutes. If you want to get good tests, do 30 minutes at least. But what you do is you set a timer, you set your power saver on when the timer starts, and you calculate based on the XP you get down here at the bottom. So after 30 minutes, you take the number, divide by 30, that gives you XP per minute. Then you can multiply it out to get your hourly rate. So I just wasn't able to get good numbers in Redmoon Lab. But the 2 best areas from 90 to 100 is going to be like Redmoon Gorge Elite and Redmoon Valley. So Redmoon Gorge Elite is up to level like 97, 96, 97 mobs. I can go ahead and tell you on the lower end of 90 to 100, I'm gonna show you. No, I'm not do it like that. Let's go ahead and I'll show you a couple of my favorite spots, and it'll give you an idea of what to look for, because there's definitely more spots than what I have here. So if I go to the blue boss here on Redmoon Gorge 1F, and some of this, you know, some of these you could do up in the upper 80s too, depending on how you're geared. So keep that in mind. I don't remember exactly when I moved here, guys. I really should have kept better track. You got this boss here. I'm not necessarily a fan of that spot. Well, someone's there, but this spot right here was one of my favorite spots for quite a while. Had a pretty good rate. This a very dense spot, very good for like Arbalist and Sorcerer. In pretty much most classes, because you can pick up a decent chunk of mobs at any given time. So here, you know, there's a lot of mobs. They're very close. They have a good respawn rate. This is the kind of thing you're looking for when you're finding a spot. Now, I know that some people also like to farm, right? So if you're like someone who wants to farm a boss, this boss right here seems to be the best. Now, again, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this one real quick, but you apply these same principles to other spots you can check. Maybe you find a different gem, something that works for you. You know, I cannot stress enough that it is more of a personal decision sometimes. But this one has a decent number of mobs, and you got the boss here to get the boss loot, which will help you with your, you know, your constitution, your inner force. I don't know exactly how many mobs are here. I didn't really do this spot. Nah, I wasn't really worried about this spot, and I really didn't focus on doing uniques. I focused more on experience. So let me take you next to like what I'm gonna show you, kind of my guide spot, right? Some people might not like this, me sharing this, but I'll just show it to you. So when you get to Redmoon Valley, you got the secret passages. I haven't really messed around on 1, but on 2, I will show you my favorite location. So I go to the south entrance here of 2-1, and the mobs here give a lot of XP. You get the similar drop still to like Labyrinth. You can get your flower oil and things like that. Go in here to the secret passage. Of course, this is if you're not on a hostile server as well. But if you're able to survive, it's really, really good. So right here in the second room from the left is what I call the God room here, right? This is the best spot here. And then over here is also a decent spot. But I was here in my lower 90s, moving into the, you know, mid to upper 90s. And these are level 96. They're pretty close together because the room is smaller. It's like it has a similar number of mobs, and makes it easier to gather them up. And you sometimes get, you know, multiple groups at a time. So this is one of my favorite spots. Really good XP rate. You should test it out. And as I was saying, this room is not too bad either, but it is a little bit slower in terms of XP. Now, same thing when you go to 3F. I believe it's 3-2, but I'm not 100% sure. You check these, but I mean, I'm giving you the principles, right? You should be able to take this and figure out the best spots for you. But the same thing, there's a similar area on floor 3 that is also not too bad. The one thing that's not cool about the secret passages is the sanctuaries don't work inside the secret passages. There are some areas like right here on the floor of 3F is not too bad, but again, you might be able to find another dense area as well. I haven't done too much looking into it or tested too many spots. I'm giving you my favorite spots that I found as I leveled. You should also test some other spots too. Now, these mobs here, what do they range? They're in the upper 90s, right? So you might be asking yourself, like, what, you know, why am I fighting same level mobs to get to 100? Well, guess what? Through my leveling from 90 to 100, I tested so much, guys. I tested so many spots in Phantasia, in Anthole, in Phantasia Desert Road. There's just no good spots. There are no good spots. No good spots. Now, I'm going to go ahead and touch on this. Phantasia Lab 1 is the next great area. And I'm touching on this in this video because some people can do it before level 100. Taos especially can do it for level 100. And there's some really good rooms down in this area right here. I really like this boss room here, and I like the sanctuary room as well. But there's also some other good rooms on Phantasia 1F as well. So that's really the prime. Those are the prime spots, guys. That's the best spots that I have found. If maybe once you approach like 97, 98, 99, you can go ahead into Labyrinth. The problem is they have a lot of HP, so you got to be able to burn them down pretty quick. If you're not burning them down quick enough, you're not going to get as much XP as you would in Redmoon Valley. So you might be able to survive here, but you have to have a good high kill rate and be able to outpace what you were doing in Redmoon Valley. That's the thing. I was in Redmoon Valley for a long time because it was just really, really good. So that's what I got for you on spots. If you have some spots that you know of and you want to share them, let me know down in the comments. I know a lot of people don't like sharing their spots. This is gonna, you know, crowd areas maybe a little bit more. I'm sorry, but that's what I do here, right? I'm bringing you guys the information, and we share the information with the community. So that's what I got for you. Level 90 to 100. Your main maps are going to be Redmoon Gorge Elite and Redmoon Valley. You're going to use a lot of Magic Square tickets. You're going to use a lot of Secret Peak tickets, and that's how you're going to maximize your experience. So I'll also repeat one more time. It's in most of my other guides. Guys, it's not about how much experience percentage you have. It's not about your vigor percentage, right? I'm sorry, I got on a different set right now, but it's not about this percentage. It is to a degree, but it's also about your kill rate. Some people, unless you got some really crazy cracked stones, magic stones, like some epic ones that have really good substats, like I just picked up one today that I can actually use on my farming set. So I picked up not this one. I might still try this one, but I'm gonna lose like a lot of crit using this one, and it's only gonna give me that crit damage reduction, which I mean is good for survivability. I don't need a survivability at this point. I need a kill rate. But this one right here gives me it's not huge numbers, but it's crit attack damage boost, monster attack damage boost, and skill attack damage boost. This is good for XPing, right? And I get the 3% bonus. So 3% is not huge, but at the same time it makes a little bit of difference. This is gonna be the start of my experience set for stones. Some people have gotten a lot luckier than me and gotten some really good magic magic stone of growth, but me personally, anytime I get one, it's had some really bad substats, and it's not worth switching out for, like, I don't want to give up 30% crit damage for 3% XP because I kill a lot faster with that crit damage, right? So keep that in mind. I said that plenty of times before. Make sure you're using stones, and make sure you use appropriate spirits to balance out your damage output with your experience gain, because the more you can damage and the faster you kill mobs, if you can kill 2 mobs with your half XP half damage set, but you only kill 1 mob with your XP set, I guarantee you're not gonna, in that same time period, you're not gonna make more XP with your XP set. You're gonna make more XP with the blended set. So I just want to stress that again. You guys should know that by now. Anyone watching this video should know that by now. This is the more advanced guide. I still probably talk more than I wanted to in here, so I'm sorry. By the time the next guide comes out, we'll be a lot more specific. And we'll just get straight to the point, because at this, if you're getting up into these videos, guys, you should know what you're doing, right? You should know what you're doing. So I hope you guys appreciate the videos. If you did, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.